Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video. The late 1970s. Science fiction would become fantastic once again, especially with George Lucas's Star Wars, and yeah, because after George Lucas's Star Wars came out in 1977, because big things would, what would come next in the world of science fiction, in the science fiction genre, and so on. Yeah, and, in the very late 1970s, on TV, we had Battlestar Galactica, and in 1979, we would have a couple of science fiction movies, one from Disney, which of course being The Black Hole, one from Paramount Pictures, which of course being Star Trek, the motion picture, and from 20th Century Fox. This science fiction film, it would make film history, science fiction history, and sci-fi horror history, and it would change the way we look at sci-fi horror today, and coming straight from the genius mind of director Ridley Scott. This one sci-fi horror film, with the tagline, "In space, no one can hear you scream." This is Alien. Yes. Yep. Welcome to the Alien Review Marathon, where I will be reviewing the entire list of the Alien films. And yeah, because in celebration of, Alien Romulus and so on, but yeah, you get the point. So yep, that's right. Obviously, we're starting with, from 1979, Alien. Yes. Alien, the one that started it all, and as I said, it would change the way we look at sci-fi and horror. Yep, sci-fi horror and so on. Because, back then, sci-fi horror, it was completely different, and how it was done, when it came to, the aliens / the monster. But, the sci-fi horror films that focused more on the alien / the monster were low-budgeted B-movies. But then came this, and what it had to offer, just, yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing, what Ridley Scott and all the others involved in the first Alien film, what they've accomplished, and it's amazing. Yeah, and I'm glad to have finally have seen it, and, yeah, so, my first thoughts and what I have to say on Alien. Well, there's no doubt about it. I think it's a sci-fi horror science fiction movie masterpiece. Yeah, because it pretty much is. What Ridley Scott brought to this sci-fi horror film and where the story was going, and with its cast of characters, the suspense and the slashing going on, and with the main antagonist of this movie, yeah, it's amazing. I really enjoyed this, and it did not disappoint. It did not disappoint at all for me, and you know what? That goes for anybody else that would watch the first Alien film for the first time. Because again, what more do I have to say? It's a masterpiece. It's perfect. Alright, so with that being said, and as always, read the description / the story. In deep space, the crew of the commercial starship Nostromo is awakened from their Cairo sleep capsules, halfway through their journey home to investigate a distress call from an alien vessel. The terror begins when the crew encounters a nest of eggs. Inside the alien ship, an organism from inside an egg leaps out and attaches itself to one of the crew, causing him to fall into a coma. Okay, so getting into the film itself, because it's really interesting and cool how it opens, because you can already tell that just something. There's something about it, and just, with the opening credits and how slowly but surely the title of the movie is showing, and the letters are not complete, and as the credits roll, the cast and crew and such. And also, fun fact, this was Ridley Scott's second big major motion picture, because the first one he did, I'll put the name of the first movie he directed, in a text. Alien was Ridley Scott's second film, and, especially after Alien, because look what would come next for good old Ridley Scott. Movies that some of us, we have our favorites. We have our favorites that Ridley Scott has directed. You know what I mean. So, yeah. This huge cargo ship called Nostromo, at one point, with a nice, long shots of inside of the ship, seeing the inside and how it looks, and, it's amazing, and I'll go ahead and mention this, the set and designs for Alien, fantastic, because, What's-in-Face, who did the set and designs and the look for Alien and for the spaceship Nostromo, fantastic. And then at one point, because we see the crew of the spaceship Nostromo awake from hypersleep, and there's a reason why they were awoken from their hypersleep and so on. Well, they are soon to return home to Earth, but again, they receive a distress call from a planet or a moon, and under orders from the company, because, the spaceship Nostromo being a cargo ship, and, I don't seem to recall. I would have known and heard if the name of the company was said and brought up in the first Alien film. But I don't think, no. Not until the first sequel. The Wayland Company, if I'm saying the name right, yeah. That's obviously who it is. And when you get to Aliens, and... yeah. So again, under direct orders from the company, they are to go down and investigate what's down below under, the surface of this planet or moon, and with the cast of characters, the crew of the spaceship Nostromo, and that they're pretty much the only cast members. There's no just them. I mean, we also have, a couple of cast members who did the alien / the antagonist and a computer voice. But aside from them, the main cast, the main human cast, half of them, because one of them, that's not human until we get to him more. So point being, the crew of the spaceship Nostromo, there's Dallas, being played by Tom Skerritt. I think, I'm saying the last name right. There's Ripley, being played by good old Sigourney Weaver. Lambert, being played by Veronica Cartwright. And I am familiar with Veronica Cartwright because... on the side of her doing acting on TV, she was the daughter of Daniel Boone in the Daniel Boone TV show, Fess Parker. Yeah, so that's her. And, she's done a lot more great acting and such, but for me, because I remember her not only for Alien, but also Daniel Boone. And, her doing Daniel Boone at a very young age. So, anyways, there's also Brett, being played by the late Harry Dean Stanton. Yeah. Kane, being played by the late legendary John Hurt. Ash, being played by the late Ian Holm, future Bilbo Baggins in the Lord of the Rings / the Hobbit films, and the voice of Skinner in Disney and Pixar's Ratatouille. And something about Ash, we don't suspect anything on Ash until very later on, and his connection and, his fascination with, what they find on the planet or moon surface, and it's brought back up on the ship, Again, when we talk more about Ash. And there's also Parker, being played by the late Yaphet Kotto. I think I'm getting his full name right. Especially the first name, and I think Kotto sounds about right. Yeah. So that's our crew of the ship, and there's also a cat named Jonesy Jones. Yeah, and I don't think the movie establishes whom it is, whose cat it is. Maybe Ripley. I mean, Ripley, I guess you could say Ripley technically adopts and takes care of Jonesy, and because of what happens at the very end of the movie, but until I get to that. So, once again, they are received a distress call from this planet or moon, and again, because, like, they wake up, they do have some breakfast and so on, and also, Captain Dallas, because he, interacts at times with, the main computer of the spaceship Nostromo, named Mother, and Mother was voiced by Helen Horton. Yeah, so Helen Horton, she's the voice of Mother, the main computer of the ship, and Dallas questioning Mother why they woke up from hibernation, hypersleep, and so on, and the responses that the Mother sometimes gives, you know? So they all go down in this, big shuttle they have, and when they arrive, well, not a very peaceful, calming landing, because when they land on the surface, on the ground, because shit happens, pardon my French, but it's true, and they're kind of stuck there for quite a while, but, they still go out there. Dallas, Lambert, and Kane, they are the three that go out and investigate what they're supposed to be looking for, and at one point, well, because they find this huge, crashed, ancient ship, and, by going in this ship, what they discover and find is just amazing, and just, like, creepy, and so on, and that whole thing, like, don't go in there, don't go in that creepy castle, or whatever, that whole thing, yeah. And we see this, like, huge, fossilized alien body, and supposedly the room that they enter and they find this fossilized alien body, supposedly it could be the cockpit, and in the fossilized alien body, like, there's a hole, like, through the chest, like, something was, like, inside of this now, fossilized alien body, and at one point, because, well, Kane, going down further below this crashed ancient ship, and what he finds down below, well, because, finding, these eggs, and there's mist and so on, and coming face to face with one egg where when he looks inside of it, he can see, like, apparently there's something alive, like a live organism and such, and, well, we see that this egg, like, it opens, and at one point, well, there, you can tell in this, and with the suspense, yeah, it, like, it's coming, and sure enough, like, it just lunges on Kane's space helmet, and the name of those creatures from those eggs are called facehuggers. That is the name of them, in case you did or did not know. That is the actual name that they're referred to, facehuggers. Yeah, basically, because they just literally hug on your face. But anyways, so yeah, Kane, he's got one on his space helmet, and well, the facehugger made its way, like, broke the glass of his space helmet and attached on his face, and well, Lambert and Dallas, they returned back to the shuttle along with Kane. But how did they bring Kane back? Because we don't see them, like, I guess, like, carry his body or something. I don't know, but he just made his way back to the ship. Ripley, she's not sure about this and is not going to take any chances and, like, quarantining themselves and with whatever it is that Kane had brought back and that's attached to him. But Ash, well, because he wants Kane to be brought back on board and so on, and Ripley, because, her also being in charge, like, she's not going to take any chances, but they are disobeying orders and such. But also, the other crew members, like, Brett and Parker, sometimes, not in a bad way, like, they can be a handful and such. Like, I think, yeah, because they're engineers and they're trying to fix up the shuttle, and so, they can get the heck out of the surface and make their way back to the main ship, Nostromo. And to speed things up, because, yeah, eventually, yeah, everything's patched up on their shuttlecraft, and they do get out of there and make their way back to Nostromo. And, well, with Kane, because he's hospitalized, you know, in, like, the medical room and such, and, well, they're just trying to figure out, like, what it is that's on his face and how they can get it off him. And their attempt at trying to, like, get it off him and such, well, it causes, like, the face hugger to spit out acid and such. Like, one drop of acid from the alien creatures from the Alien franchise, one drop, and, like, landing on the floor, it's just crazy, like, burning through each floor of the ship, and that's what happens, and then just going down, you know, from one deck to another to, you know, see the acid and how bad it is, and eventually, yeah, it does stop, so yeah. And, you know, still, because them trying to, you know, help Kane and also, like, not taking any risks, like, them really trying to get it off him, he may die, and somehow, and according to Ash, yeah, because, realizing that, the facehugger, like, supplying air and breathing and such for Kane or something. But little do they know what the facehugger is actually doing to Kane. And things kinda don't go too well, as, you know, towards, like, say, Ripley and Ash, and for Dallas, because, you know, them trying to get it off him, and for Ash still examining it, the face hugger and such, yeah. And still, trying to do whatever it takes, and any way possible to get it off of Kane. And to speed things up, yeah, because, eventually, well, because, yeah, they do start to disembark from the planet's, atmosphere, planet or moon, and, well, sure enough, Ash calls down on the crew, to come check on Kane, that they should come and see for themselves, and Kane, he's doing okay now. He's doing perfectly well, like nothing happened. And apparently, because, yeah, something obviously happened to the facehugger. Well, because the facehugger that was attached to Kane, it eventually died. But what the facehugger left inside of Kane, oh boy, just, yeah, we're getting there. Also, and before I get to there, because, yeah, more on the crew members, because each of them, they're pretty good and with their own personalities, and I don't think it would take you that long, and, well, that goes for us audience, it wouldn't take us that long to know what each of the crew members are like, their personalities, and, geez, because, sadly, what would come next for them? And, yeah, because the time has come now to talk about it. So, when everything seems to be going, you know, well for the crew of the spaceship Nostromo, Kane is doing completely all right. They are going to make their way back home officially, and, you know, they will go back into hypersleep and so on. But before they do so, they decide to have one last meal for now. And sadly, it would be all of them. It would be their last meal, because what comes next is, well, they're having a good time, they're laughing and such. Kane talking about, like, you know, when he gets back home and eating decent food and such, and, you know, he's having, like, I think, yeah, a bowl of salad, because taking some salad and putting it in his bowl, and yeah. But then at one point, we see that Kane, he starts to cough, and it seems like he might be choking, and Ash, he realizes and tells them that it's serious, like, he's not doing so good. What is happening to Kane? It's just, and he's obviously, Kane's not joking around, it's getting intense, and, you know, because holding him down on the table, and they, you know, trying to open his mouth, like, with a spoon and such, and just, at one point, Kane just shouting, and then at one point, his chest starts to burst, almost, and with blood, and, yeah, and just Kane just struggling, you know, just the performance that John Hurt gives at that moment, fantastic. And what happens next? Well, still, his chest bursting, and then, boom, the alien pops out of his chest. That moment right there. It's just fantastic. And fun fact, the cast the crew of Nostromo, the actors themselves, those were their actual reactions when seeing the xenomorph, the alien, of course, popping out of John Hurt's, part of his chest being fake, obviously. Those were their real reactions. They did not see that coming, and that just being perfect and just really gives the, actual reactions. You know what I'm saying? It's perfect. And, well, because, I think, Parker was gonna, stab it, but Ash telling him, don't touch it, and, because we're slowly but surely realizing, oh, Ash, what are you doing? Are you stupid? Just, why are you risking everybody's lives at stake with this alien? And, this tiny alien, this just runs off of the table, and now it's loose on the ship. Thanks, Ash, because we would have killed it by now. But something about Ash, and again, his fascination with this alien creature, this species and such, and yeah, because, in the first Alien movie, because the movie doesn't establish the name of the alien species until the sequel, which of course being, and as I said, xenomorph, either way, but yeah, So, now what? By this point, they're all screwed, but, well, they're gonna do whatever it takes, obviously, to hunt down, this alien creature that's roaming around the ship. Somewhere in the ship, a terrifying creature awaiting to play with its next victim. It got Kane first by, bursting out of his chest and, well, the birth of this alien, and now, because, well, whomever, the alien is going to get, his next victim and such. So, now the crew doing whatever it takes to, find and to defeat and destroy, kill, this alien creature roaming around their ship and saving all of them, saving their butts. And even, still, a couple moments where Dallas still interacting with the mother computer and, with orders and so on, and from the company, But little did the crew know that there was a secret mission that they were not aware of. Only Ash knew, and I'm pretty sure, that also goes for, well, the mother computer, because something about this alien that was accidentally brought up to the spaceship Nostromo, and what this secret mission is, and when they find out from Ash. Okay, so yeah, and to speed things up, because, again, the crew of the spaceship Nostromo, sometimes them splitting up and sometimes being a small group, say if it's just 3 or 2, because at one point Ripley, along with Parker and Brett, because, I assume it's trying to find the alien, and at one point, because another jump scare, because, this movie, it does not disappoint with, the jump scares and suspension. But, when I watched this for the first time, well, I already knew about, say, some of the jump scares and such, and they didn't get me, but obviously I knew because they were coming, and, well, no denying the suspension at one point, because a jump scare that happens, well, because they come face-to-face with the cat, Jonesy, and I think, because I assume, them trying to capture and rescue and keep Jonesy safe, and now Brett has to go and chase and find, Jonesy, and just the sequence where Brett is by himself, and it seems obvious, and if you get the feeling that what is most likely going to happen to poor Brett, well, because, Brett, trying to call for Jonesy, kitty talk, here, kitty, 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 and so on, here, Jonesy, and at one point he comes in this room where chains are rattling, and there's, water dripping down, and he kind of refreshes himself up, just him hearing noise, not, fully suspecting anything, and still, him trying to find Jonesy, he even at one point stumbled upon, something on the floor of the ship, in the room that he was in, and that's obvious, because it looks like the alien might have molded or something, because, well, apparently, and when Brett, because he does find and comes face-to-face with Jonesy, and trying to get Jonesy to, come to him and so on, well, Jonesy then starts to hiss and growl, because, well, not at Brett, but what's behind him. And that, of course, being the xenomorph. Yeah, and, yeah, because, as I was going to say, because apparently, well, because it wasn't until, like an hour or so ago that they first came face-to-face with the tiny xenomorph, and, when it burst out of Kane's chest, and it ran away. Well, I think, like, an hour or so later, well, it didn't take, like, the species of the alien species of the xenomorphs, it doesn't take them that long to fully grow. And we already see it fully grown, and its next victim, which being Brett. And sadly, Brett meeting his demise, being pulled up, and he's bleeding a bit, and him just, like, screaming a bit, and, like that, like, and cutting to, the look on Jonesy's face, the cat, just, like, I guess, like, Jonesy doesn't care or something. He's just, Jonesy's not fazed by this over what's happening with Brett. Mondays, am I right? To quote CinemaSins. But anyways, so that's it for Brett, and, well, sure enough, the crew of Nostromo, they learn and discover what happened with Brett, and, yeah, most likely he did not make it. And they realize, and seems as though that, well, and it's obvious that the alien is crawling and making its way through the air ducts, and, well, Dallas, he takes the risk of going into the air ducts of the ship, trying to locate and find the alien and where it could be through the air ducts and such. And, they have a tracking device on Dallas and, little Dot and such, and by any chance, another Dot pops up, and that, of course, being the alien. And at one point, because, like, they're kind of losing signal, but, yeah, they do regain connection to him, and then, sure enough, and, well, I think, yeah, Lambert, analyzing Dallas's movements, and she can see on the monitor that, well, something else is there, and it's approaching towards him, and she knows that, well, it's the alien, and, well, from her to Ripley and such, just telling him to get out of there and so on, even when, like, he has, like, a flamethrower and such, yeah, because the flamethrower guns that they have on the spaceship Nostromo, very handy, at least. So, and then another jump scare, because, well, shining his light, like this way, I guess, like, well, actually, I think behind him and such, and, well, there, and even, you can even see, if you look very closely, you can see a little glimpse of it right before we come to the jump scare, because, yeah, just, just reaching out its hands, and, sadly, Captain Dallas meets his demise. Now, there's only 5 crew members left. Four crew members left. Lambert, Parker, Ash, and of course Ripley. So, and by that point, because things are getting quite suspicious, towards the mother computer and Ash. And this time, Ripley, getting access and communicating and interacting with the mother computer and finding out, the truth and, well, finding out the secret mission that was completely unbeknownst to the crew members of Nostromo, except for Ash, because, Ash getting a bit suspicious, especially, towards, the remaining crew members and, towards Ripley especially. And we even see at one, because at one point, Ripley, she's trying to make her way, I guess, to another part of the ship. Like the doors close on her, and, well, clearly it's Ash's doing. And we see something dripping from Ash. Like, what is it? Like, it doesn't look like sweat or something, but, yeah, even, Ripley is wondering and just, what is going on with Ash, and just out of nowhere, because Ash, like, randomly attacks Ripley. And like I said, a little early on, because Ripley just getting fed up with Ash and with what's going on and how far they've come and some of the crew members that they've lost, especially up to Dallas, and yeah. And again, because, yeah, Ash just randomly attacking Ripley and even, like, choking her with, like, a magazine or something. But sure enough, because Parker and Lambert, they come to Ripley's aid, and yeah, because she was trying to, reach out to Parker and Lambert, but, Ash, like, blocking her off from, summoning them. Well, because, yeah, again, because Lambert and Parker, they do show up finally, and helping Ripley, stopping Ash, and then just out of nowhere, Ash just going rambunctious, just like, what is going on with him? And, like, it's like, screeching noise and such that's coming from Ash, and still, Ash going rambunctious and, attacking them, even, like, because, like, pushing on Parker's chest, and, well, Parker at one point, grabbing a bat and just hitting him on the head and the back, and then at one point decapitating him, literally, and it turns out Ash was a robot, an android, and what they find out next from Ash, and, for Ash basically just keeping the alien alive, and just the risk of the Nostromo crew members getting killed, and the goo and such that's dripping from Ash, like, that's basically like the fluid, I want to say, from that type of android in the world of Alien. And fun fact, the liquid and such coming from, the androids, from Ash, and the next android that we would see in Aliens, well, that, the liquid and such, that's actually a mixture of milk and yogurt. Jeez. Well, I'm sure, like, probably for, those who played the androids probably found it gross, and the smell, because, you talk about, like, mixing up milk and yogurt and how, bad they would taste if they expired, you know what I'm saying? Just sour. Ugh. But, obviously they, the milk and yogurt that was used for the android liquid in the Alien franchise, it being fresh, obviously. So, anyways, so Ash being broken in half just by the head and so on, and them activating Ash again and getting information from him. Basically, this top secret mission that was kept from the Nostromo crew, which this secret mission coming from the company, obviously, and this secret mission and Ash being programmed to this, basically, they were to bring back, one of those eggs, and the alien that hatched and from the facehugger, and it burst through Kane's chest, to bring back a live organism, and that, of course, being the alien, the xenomorph, bring it back to Earth and so on, and what the company will do with the alien. Yeah, that's basically what that was, and obviously they're upset by this, and especially towards Ash, but who can blame Ash, because he's an android, he was programmed by that, so he was programmed what to specifically do by the company, so yeah, and eventually, yeah, because they do shut off Ash, and right before they exit the room, like, the main room where they all eat their food and such, well, nice on Parker, because he basically uses the flamethrower that he has and burning Ash, like his face and such, and yeah, we see what's underneath the human, like, skin, the android to resemble a human, so yeah, so that's it for Ash, so, and technically, like, I'd say, like, yeah, he's another antagonist of this movie, but again, he's an android, and what he was programmed to do, if only they could have, I guess, and if they knew early on that he was an android, maybe they could have reprogrammed him, if you know what I'm saying, but, but of course we know who the main antagonist is. Yeah, so, anyways, so now it's just down to 3: Ripley, Lambert, and Parker. And also, unfortunately, it's mentioned, I think, like 1 or 2 times, especially from Lambert, that why don't they just, escape in a shuttlecraft? Like, they blow up the main ship, Nostromo, and escape in a shuttlecraft. And, well, there's only one shuttlecraft, specifically, and for escape. And it can only fit one person. And there's only, like, one tube where you can, go into hypersleep and so on, So, what now? Just, yeah. But no matter what, because, and because it's only left down to 3, still, they'll do whatever it takes. And thus, they start making plans on, I guess, like, preparing themselves to escape the ship and so on. They split up, and, because, like, splitting up and in a situation like this, not good. And especially that goes for Lambert and Parker, because Ripley, she goes off and she is in the shuttlecraft preparing for it and so on until they escape. And at one point, she hears through the intercoms the meowing of Jonesy, and she knows that she's got to rescue the cat, and she does so. Her looking for Jonesy, eventually she finds Jonesy, and, thankfully she puts Jonesy in a container and so on, like a suitcase kind of thing, whatever, and obviously, to carry Jonesy in that case to the shuttle that they'll be escaping in. And unfortunately and sadly, Lambert and Parker, at one point, the xenomorph comes in the room that they're in, and the xenomorph, taking its time and slowly about to kill his next 2 victims. And Lambert, because poor Lambert, because how terrified she is, she can't move and so on, even when Parker is telling her to move, but she can't. And Ripley, she can hear this. She can hear this through the intercoms. And Parker, well, he was gonna be very brave and try to take on the xenomorph himself, but he wasn't quick enough to do so, because, well, the xenomorph was quick enough to, corner him and such, and, well, the xenomorph killing poor Parker, and then, obviously, and we don't see it on screen fully, like from, say, Brett, Dallas, then Parker, and then Lambert. We don't see it that much, hardly. Just, yeah, the alien killing his victims, and when the alien does kill Parker and poor Lambert, and sadly, that's the end of both Parker and Lambert, and we would last hear their screams. Yeah. And now Ripley, and aside from the cat, Jonesy, Ripley is the last remaining and surviving crew member of the spaceship Nostromo. So what's Ripley gonna do now? And now that she's the only surviving crew member of the spaceship Nostromo, and, well, along with her, the cat Jonesy, well, set the ship to self-destruct. Yep, because she now finally sets the spaceship Nostromo to self-destruct. And, the way it's done, and I love the sound effects of her, like, putting in the screws and tapping on the buttons, yeah. Certain sound effects you like, and especially, like, if it's science fiction, you know what I'm saying? And sure enough, the alarm goes off, we hear the voice of the mother, danger, the emergency destruct system is now activated, and there's even the mother voice giving the option to override detonation, and yeah, only 5 minutes left if, given the option to override self-destruct and so on, and her attempting to escape along with the cat Jonesy in that case. Well, and she did at one point, almost came face-to-face with the xenomorph, because it's right there by a corner, and she did accidentally leave Jonesy behind, and at one point, like, a shot of the alien looking at the cat Jonesy, and even at one point, because, like, the alien, like, swatted the case that had Jonesy in it, and, well, Ripley scattering and, running away and such, and even, like, her attempt to, like, override the self-destruct and so on, and just her shouting at Mother, Mother, you bitch, and just smashing part of the ship, and, her failed attempt, I assume, yeah, because of, overriding the self-destruct and so on, and her still proceeding on to escape the ship Nostromo, and she does thankfully reunite with Jonesy, still safe and sound in that case, grabbing the case and making her way into the escaped shuttle. And well, and even with her using that flamethrower, and any chance that the alien could pop up and letting it off, the flamethrower gun. Yeah, but thankfully she's okay. And her getting on the shuttle, unattaching the shuttle from the spaceship Nostromo, and her basically, flying off, and, well, the mother voice, the remaining countdown of the self-destruct, and when it gets to 10 seconds, and, well, when it gets to 1, well, and thankfully, Ripley managed to escape clearly out of range, that, escaping that close, from the ship, she escaped just in time, basically. And that amazing explosion, when the spaceship Nostromo finally explodes, and just the visuals of it exploding almost kind of reminding me how the visuals looked in 2001 when Dave entered into the monolith, that gateway and such. That's kind of what it reminded me, just a little bit. But, again, just how the self-destruct and the explosion, how it looked in Alien from the spaceship Nostromo. And yeah, that's the end of the spaceship Nostromo, and the crew that were left behind, sadly, they met their demise. Nobody made it alive, all except for Ripley, and along with Jonesy. Can't leave out the cat, of course. And it seems like, yeah, everything is okay now for Ripley and the cat. And well, Ripley, she was planning to go into hypersleep and such, along with the cat Jonesy. And when she, kind of took off part of her wardrobe and such, and just the underwear that she had on and the white shirt, and yeah. But then at one point, when you think that everything's okay now for Ripley, nope, because somehow, and unbeknownst to Ripley, the alien made its way into the shuttle, and it seems like, yeah, the alien is asleep. And thankfully, because Ripley didn't, because she, the risk of her waking up the alien, the xenomorph, because, she was startled, of course, and she was quick enough to hide herself in a closet, and her taking her time and slowly but surely getting into a spacesuit, putting on a space helmet, because, well, she's gonna do something, and to get rid of the alien. So yeah, just her, again, quietly, and just when she put on the spacesuit, the space helmet, and I think it's obvious because, and if you would figure it out immediately, she was, gonna, open the hatch and to let it out into space, be blown out, and so on. And she at one point just calmly, just the best she can, calmly, singing, "You are my lucky star," and still, any risk of waking up the xenomorph, and and the close-up shots of the xenomorph and its mouth, and because, yeah, and just with the jaw inside of its jaw, I guess you could say its tongue is another mouth, oh god. Yeah, and also because, yeah, I'll go ahead and mention this because the other cast members, those whom played and performed the alien, the body performance of the alien, the xenomorph, it was Bolaji Badajo, however his full name is said, him. There's him, and there's also Eddie Powell, and he's uncredited. He was also the body performance of the alien for other shots, of the xenomorph. Yeah, so both of them, two actors as the body performances as the alien / the xenomorph. Well done. And What's-Him-Face, who did the design and look of the alien species, the xenomorph. I'll put his name in a text. Yeah, good job on, what he brought. The look and concept and design of the alien / xenomorph. Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, so again, Ripley doing whatever it takes to calmly and what she's about to do to get rid of the alien. But of course then, like, you know, the alien, it does start to wake up, and, you know, just her still singing "You Are My Lucky Star," and like, oh my god, and she does scream, and even when she like turns, and yeah, and then of course opening the hatch of the space shuttle and letting the alien out, but the alien holding on, and well, launching like a rifle or something, an arrow, I want to say, right through the alien's chest, and yeah, letting it out into space. And well, the string is still stuck, and when the doors close, and well, with the thrusters, the engines, well, it kind of like burns the alien, and well, it does go flying away, the alien's body. And yep, that's the end and defeat of the main antagonist of this movie, the titled character, the alien slash the xenomorph, yeah. And the epilogue, because, well, now, thankfully, everything is safe and sound for Ripley, and that also goes for the cat, Jonesy. And Ripley giving in a log entry, and, you know, what has happened with the spaceship, you know, the cargo ship, I should say, of Nostromo, its crew, all of the crew members, and with the ship, except for one crew member, lost, and Ripley being the only surviving crew member. And in her log entry, because she's expected to, I guess, you know, return home in about 6 weeks. But what would come next for Ripley in the next installment of the Alien franchise? And we see her along with the cat, and the cat being an orange cat, Jonesy. They're safe and sound asleep, you know, in hypersleep and so on. Yeah, and again, what would come next for both of them? Well, and especially that goes for Ripley in the next installment. And yeah, that was a nice way to end it right there, you know, and just all, you know, the last thing we see is Ripley safe and sound asleep, hypersleep, and well, you know, we cut to space and the end credits, they roll, and just, yeah, what a great way to end the first Alien film right there. You know, also, I meant to bring this up because there's one moment where Ripley, because when she's in the escaped shuttle, you know, like, she's obviously referring to the alien, you know, "I defeated you, you son of a bitch," however she said it. I thought I'd mention it because it was pretty cool. But anyways, the first Alien film, Alien from 1979, again, a masterpiece. It's perfect, fantastic. The story is great. The cast, and the characters, the music and score by the late legendary Jerry Goldsmith, because he wrote the music for this, and, well, the conductor of the music, because, yeah, him being credited, I'll put his name in the text as well. Yeah, and just the suspension, the slashing, the horror, you know, the sci-fi horror stuff, and, you know, with each of the crew members, one by one, them vanishing and being attacked and killed by the main antagonist, the alien slash the xenomorph. Again, the suspense and the surprising reveals, like most notably when the crew find out that a top secret mission, you know, that was kept from them, and realizing that Ash was an android, and just the unexpected moments, you know, like, from Kane, the alien bursting through his chest, like the reactions and the emotion from the characters, and sometimes funny moments, because, yeah, there were some funny moments from some of the crew members. Yeah, just overall, Alien from 1979, a masterpiece, a great horror sci-fi film, and yeah, it made film history from science fiction, sci-fi horror. Just, what more do I have to say? It's a masterpiece from the one and only Ridley Scott. And I'm giving Alien from 1979, well, what the heck, and it's obvious, 10 out of 10 stars. Yes, 10 out of 10 stars for Alien. And what about you guys? What do you think of the first Alien film itself? Like, for those of you that watched it for the very first time, like, were you just amazed and getting into what was happening, and with the suspension, the jump cuts, things that you did not expect, and just, holy cow, it's true, and just, yeah, and the characters, the crew members of the spaceship Nostromo, the main antagonist, you know, the alien slash the xenomorph, and just, yeah, overall, what do you think of the first Alien film itself, and with what I've had to say about it, and with my review on it, and yeah, what did you think of my review? Leave comments, and give this review video a like, as always. And so, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Alien from 1979. More review videos are on the way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video / review. And, well, the Alien review marathon has just begun. Stay tuned later tonight, well, because, yeah, you know what's coming next. Aliens. More than just one alien, but, you know, the fact that there's more, and the big surprise that, well, someone giving birth to these alien eggs, and whom Ripley comes face to face with. Yeah, stay tuned for that later tonight. Take care, and peace out.